Hey, this is Chris Johnson, and one of the great things about working from home is I don't have to fucking see anybody. I'm not exposed to the stupid bullshit that people who actually have to go to the office, go to a job, I'm not exposed to the shit that they're exposed to on a day-to-day basis. You go to the office, you hear some fucking asshole talking about something ridiculous, and it's just like, what the fuck? Like, Jesus Christ. Like, I remember when I had to go back to the office, like, they shut down the call center job, and then me and fucking Nitz had to go back because they're fucking assholes, and they're like, well, your numbers aren't good enough, and, you know, you gotta get them up so you can stay home, all that fucking horse shit. Like, it was motivation, even though we both wanted to fucking, like, blow that goddamn building up. And I remember sitting there, and there were other people there, and they're fucking talking about, like, just dumb shit, and I just wanted to fucking, like, take a hammer and 2 nails and just fucking bang them into my eardrums and shit. So all that's gone. All that is gone. I don't have to see people that I hate. You get angry like at Zoom meetings maybe, but it's like not the same thing. It's not the same thing as actually like seeing anybody. But it only takes like one incident. It only takes like one small thing to just like almost like throw you back into that world and be like, God fucking damn it. Like, what the fuck is happening here? I was at the gym the other day. I go to the gym all the time, multiple times a week, and I don't have to deal with any of this shit. Like, I hear people talk about like their random shit. I'm just ignoring it. I'm tuning it out or whatever. I got music on, headphones on, a podcast on. I'm always listening to something because I want to expose myself to as little as the outside world as possible. I don't want to know what people are thinking. I get enough of that shit from social media. I don't want to find it in the wild. But like I didn't have my headphones on yet. I just got there. And I'm at the locker, and I don't go to the locker room because the locker room's a mess. People walk around with their dicks hanging out, singing songs and shit. Like this ain't no fucking song and dance routine. So like there's lockers like upstairs, like right by the gym floor. I just throw my shit in there. And like there were a couple people up there, like a couple workers, 3 workers actually. And I heard a fucking statement that like I still can't even like I don't know where it would come from. I don't know like in what scenario like this would ever be brought up. But the workers were chatting, and then like one of them just said, I gotta ask you a question. Do you believe in Helen Keller? Do you believe in Helen Keller? It's one of those things where like, I'm not paying attention to anything they were saying. I heard none of it. And then like that fucking sentence was uttered, and I just like, I perked up like, what? Do you believe in Helen Keller? And like this one guy goes like, yeah, of course I believe in Helen Keller. Like, why? You asking me that? And they're like, well, she doesn't believe in Helen Keller. And he asked what any normal fucking well-adjusted human being would ask, like, why don't you believe in Helen Keller? And she was like, okay. And she lost into this long diatribe about why she didn't believe in Helen Keller. I can't even, like, I don't even understand what that question means. Like, Helen Keller's not astrology. What do you mean do you believe in her? She's not a fucking goblin. She's not Santa Claus, for fuck's sake. She's not the goddamn Easter Bunny. She's not a mythic figure. She actually fucking existed. I mean, these people are talking about Helen Keller like she was fucking Frankenstein's monster or something. Like something just got ripped out of a fucking novel. Another question, like honestly, who gives that much of a fuck about Helen Keller to question her existence? Like, how much time do you spend thinking about Helen Keller? And we didn't even said it when they're like, do you believe in Helen Keller as like the woman who was deaf and blind, the activist? Do you believe in an activist? Like, we have pictures of her for fuck's sake. She's written books and shit. She was awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Harry Potter never won that. You know why? Because that motherfucker wasn't real. He's a wizard, written by a fucking transphobe. J.K. Rowling sucks. I hate J.K. Rowling. She's a fucking transphobic asshole. But anyway, the point is, Harry Potter never won any fucking presidential medals because he's not fucking real. But Helen Keller is fucking real. And they were talking about like how she like flew a plane or some shit. Like, did Helen Keller fly a plane? Do you care if she flew a fucking plane? Motherfucker, drunk pilots fly planes. If a drunk asshole can do it, I'm sure a fucking deaf and blind woman can do it. It just reminded me too, hearing all that, like, my God, I am so fucking fortunate that I don't have to be exposed to any of this shit. Like, I am so goddamn spoiled by working from home. And I'm well aware of how good I have it. I mean, one of my cousins the other day, I can't remember what we were talking about, but she was like, man, you're fucking lucky to be working from home. Dude, I know it. I understand it. This is not something I take for granted. I know how fucking awesome it is. Like, I am well aware of how great it is. I never have to fucking go to the office or get up for work. Well, I have to get up for work, but I don't have to like get up early for work to fucking drive anywhere. I don't have to be exposed to any people or fucking sickness or illness. Like, I know people who work in like fucking schools and shit, they're coming down with fucking sickness all the time. I don't have to deal with any of that. I don't have to fucking see any people. I can just sit here and work in my own little bubble and just deal with like Finny beeping at me and shit. Finley comes and meows at me. That's like the most trouble I have all day. Like, goddamn it, motherfucker, you just got pets and treats. Like, why do you want more? What do you think I am? Like, my hands are sore. Like, I can't give nonstop pets, buddy. Like, I already just gave you some scratches. Like, I can't like constantly pet these fucking animals. It's repetitive motion. It's not good. I'm going to get carpal tunnel here, and then I'm not going to be able to do my job, and then I'm going to have to go back to some fucking office. I never take my situation for granted. It's awesome just anyway that I can work from home and do my job from here, but it's even more awesome that I don't have to get exposed to just insane levels of stupidity. I don't have to fucking deal with people in public that think that historical figures are just fictional. And now too, like, now that I know that these people think that Helen Keller is fake, like, I can't look at them the same way. Not that I like them anyway, but it's always like, it's the person that just scans my fucking key card when I get in. You know, it's fine. I'll say hello. But now I just see her. I'm like, you're the dumbest fucking human being on earth. You're an idiot. You're a fucking moron. What are you reading there? You reading a book? How the fuck can you read? How the fuck do you have the mental capability to read when you think a fucking famous person is fake? This is how these conspiracy assholes start. You see this shit on YouTube. All these conspiracy theorist idiots. You see it with Damar Hamlin, Buffalo Bills player. Everybody thinks like he's a body double or a fucking lizard or whatever the fuck they think. Like, this is how it starts. It starts young. Starts with thinking Helen Keller's fake and like she's gonna be in fucking QAnon one day. I should put her on a fucking watch list now. Anyway, I'll be back Sundays and Wednesdays. That's new podcast episodes come out. I'm on Apple Podcasts and Google Podcasts and Spotify and iHeartRadio and Pandora. Any podcasting site you want, including the host, which is Podbean. Every episode is there. You can download the app, go to the website, whatever the fuck you want to do. I am on Twitter. That is at Johnson Hates You. I'm going to put this podcast in my Facebook timeline for you. And if you're into photos and videos and all that shit, I'm on Instagram. That is at maybe 5 minutes.